Hello everyone, top of the morning to you. Pretty sure that, is that copyrighted? No, it's not copyrighted. Can't copyright that. Anyway, I apologize once again for all the delays, but just to let you all know ahead of time, there will be some new videos coming out starting tomorrow, because finally seem to have the freezing issues with the computer sorted out again, and things seem to be okay. So there are going to be some videos coming out starting tomorrow, and starting this evening I will be able to share those, or maybe even this morning share some of those to the Patreon for those of you that are still contributing. Thank you all so much for your patronage, whether you are on Patreon or if you just watch the videos. Thank you so much. But the topic of this video is doing something that I meant to do last week, but recent events kind of put my mind in a weird place, as you've probably seen has happened to many people around the world, particularly in the US. But in the last vlog-ish video, or update video, I asked for you all to give me some questions, so I'm going to answer those real quick. Starting with some questions from Tom Monty. Let's see. Have you heard of / watched Black Mirror? It's breathtaking, especially the new Series 3. Consider a reaction / review. I have heard of it. I have not yet watched it. I was actually planning this coming weekend on checking out the first season to see if I like it. So you can definitely expect something from that. Now, because one thing I will say in regard to any newer shows, I know I have now learned the extent to which I can, really pay attention to certain shows. So, unfortunately, there won't be full discovering series for a lot of these newer shows, like Black Mirror, Orange is the New Black, stuff like that. But I am going to touch on them in an alternate format. It's still going to be part of the discovering series, just sort of an offshoot. And the first episode of which I planned to be Stranger Things, although I intended to do that like 2 months ago. Just so you know, that sort of like covers everything else. But, next question. Have you heard of / watched Netflix's new The Crown? It's really good. It stars Matt Smith as Prince Philip. Consider a reaction. I don't know about a reaction, but same as with Black Mirror, that is a show that I haven't heard a lot of people talking about, but the people that have talked about it give it a lot of praise. And if I'm remembering correctly, one person actually said that watching it gave them a different perspective on Queen Elizabeth. The current queen. So I'm definitely looking forward to checking that out. I don't know that I could do a reaction for it, but like Black Mirror, it's one of those shows that will be part of that alternate format that will allow me to, not have to go episode by episode, essentially. Just, get my thoughts out. Sort of an overall review / post-reaction, maybe? I don't know. Moving on to the next question. If this is after the election, why do you think this result has happened, and what does it mean for America? That's another video entirely, believe me. If you follow my social media at all, you probably have a good idea of how I feel about everything, but overall, that is something that I am going to be commenting on rather soon in its own separate video. So I apologize for not the full answer to that question, Tom, but it is coming. Have you seen / heard of the new Doctor Who spin-off Class? I assume you'll get through Torchwood and Sarah Jane before you watch it. Personally, I think it is awful and forced and definitely not worth checking out, but naturally it seems the majority of the Whovian base love it, so you'll probably like it too, and that's fine. But the best way I can describe it is it feels like it's trying to be the Sarah Jane adventures at the same time as trying to be Torchwood. This is accompanied by amateur acting, poor scripts, and sloppy pacing. I have been I do at the very least want to check out the show. The problem is, it doesn't come, it's not legally available in the US until next year sometime. They might have given a more solid date at this point, but last I remember checking. It just said early 2017, so I don't know. But I do want to at least check it out. Now, as always with other shows, I haven't stopped any shows that I've been discovering yet, but I do still have the option open that if I'm going through a show and it just doesn't grab me, if it just doesn't interest me at all, then I leave the option open to drop it. So, you know, I may end up liking Class when I do get to watch it. I may not. It's hard to say, but I definitely will be checking it out whenever I'm able to, at the very least. Let's see. From Nightmares, question: would you ever write a book or movie or TV show, and what would it be like? I have actually made a few attempts at writing books. They have not gotten very far out of the initial phase. But I actually have a lot of different stories in mind that I would like to put down to paper eventually. I actually still have a lot of the base notes that I started these things out with. So I may still go back and expand on them eventually. I would say that overall, any stories I would come up with would probably be more sci-fi oriented. I'm particularly fond of the fantasy and sci-fi crossovers, just because it feels like a lot of stories and TV shows, movies, etc., they go very much in one direction. You either like a lot of sci-fi elements, and like there's kind of some fantasy, like there's kind of magic, like in the Marvel universe, but not really. Or you just have your flat out fantasy, which is definitely more the Tolkien-esque fantasy style, or Game of Thrones, which I guess counts as Tolkien-esque, kind of. But yeah, I would love to be able to write something that is a mix of those two. In order to do that properly, I definitely need to practice more on writing, but it's something that I definitely still leave open. There are a few ideas that I would like to run by you Kenvians and see if you like, and see if you all think it might be worth pursuing, or I might do it anyway. It's hard to say at this point, but thank you for the question, Nightmares. Let's see, another one from Tom Monty. Oh, well, this isn't technically for Ask Papa Ken, but sorry I didn't reply sooner. Any update on reacting to Marmite anytime soon? Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Anyway, very much looking forward to your election. Will you be making video? Oh, okay, that's having to do with the election. I would love an audiobook if I could choose the book. Just so you know, whenever I do the audiobook things, which unfortunately I had to again delay the most recent book club because my computer kept freezing and I couldn't do anything, so I took it in to get repaired, and it seems to be so far. But whenever I do the audiobook giveaways, it is a deal where I give the person a free copy of the Audible book that I will be doing on the next book club. So it's not so much oh hey, here's credit for a free audiobook. It's the specific audiobook that will be coming next in the series. So hopefully that answers the question, or sort of clears up any confusion there. Let's see, no question there. Oh, okay, here we are from Charlie Archer. Could you do some Big Finish audios for the book club? I've never listened to the BBC ones, and they are a lot longer, so I haven't really been able to interact with the live streams. I'm assuming you mean the Big Finish ones are longer, but I absolutely do plan on doing some of the Big Finish audios. Right now, the reason why I've been sticking to the BBC ones is because it's more readily available, and I'm trying to use it to, garner some attention for the book club. Obviously, it's working against me right now since I have to keep delaying it, but the Big Finish audios are definitely part of it, and since they came out with a phone app, which I haven't downloaded yet, that might mean that I could be able to do a deal where I can give away a free copy of whatever Big Finish audio will be doing next. So, fingers crossed, that may work out sooner than I expect. So, definitely keep an eye out for that. But yes, the Big Finish audios will be happening. Question, have I eaten any of the jelly babies? If I haven't, remember heads first. Well, first of all, Ruby, thank you very much for your concern. I'm hard on myself because I want to get more out. I want to do more for you all, but, my physical body, personal life and everything, it definitely does get in the way. So I do stress out about that a lot, but I do appreciate your concern, and I am going to make sure that I take steps as much as possible to not let myself get so strung out. Now, I've said that before, but I am legitimately doing my best to try. As for the jelly babies question, I have not yet. That may or may not be what comes immediately after the Marmite video, which is coming soon. Yes. Okay, so I believe we have just let's see, I think maybe one more question here, and this is from Ruby, or as you see him on the YouTube comments, Love is Blue Arms. Let's see, that's... let's see here. Ooh, which couple of gems would or do I want to watch fuse? And my favorite fusion gem. Now, this is pertaining to Steven Universe, for any of you that don't know what I'm talking about by fusion and gems, but my favorite fusion gem so far, I would honestly have to say, is Opal. I hope we get to see more of her throughout the show, but just overall, I think she is my favorite. Although, would Stevani count? But just for the sake of argument, since Connie is a human and not another gem, I'm going to say Opal. But if that does count, then that's also my answer. But which gems would I want to watch fuse? This isn't my absolute favorite, but we got to see the result of all three of the crystal gems being fused together. I'd like to see the actual fusion process, since there's three of them, as opposed to, just the two doing it at the time. Is it like two do it and then the fusion fuses with the other, or how that works? But I would really like to see a fusion between Steven and Garnet. Or maybe even Stevani and Garnet. It's hard to say, but I would say that's probably the biggest one for me out of them all. But at the same time, I still want to see Steven fuse with all of the crystal gems to some degree. I would like to see what comes of that. I mean, because as we've seen, he is able to fuse with a human even, so that means that obviously he'll be able to fuse with the other gems. So I really do want to see that. Oh, so that looks like all of the questions. If I missed anyone, I do apologize, and I definitely apologize for the rather, as usual, unceremonious and unedited version style of this. But now that the computer's back in working order and I've got some videos coming down the line, fingers crossed things will be going well from now on. But thank you all so much for those questions. I hope you enjoyed this not so short video. And, just leading up to next time, if you have any questions you would like me to ask, or you would like me to answer, which is the easier way to say that. Hey, can you tell I haven't taken my ADHD meds yet. But if there's any questions just in general you want to ask, if it's a question you'd like for me to just answer directly in the comments, say so, or if it's something you would want me to answer in a future video, feel free to. And since it's coming up, if you have any questions pertaining to the U.S. election that occurred recently and the results of that, then feel free to leave those in the comments, and I will definitely reference them when I record my video. Please do keep it civil, and please no trolling when it comes to that, though. Please. But alright, thank you all very much, and I will see you soon for the next video, which is probably going to be the Game of Thrones reaction. That should have gone up here weeks ago. But anyway, until next time, everyone, Papa Kenn, signing out.